Yep, started.
All right. Well, we are live on this fantastic Thirsty Thursdays. Welcome to the Sammies and Beer podcast. It is a pleasure to have you with us. We have a special evening for you. Thomas apparently has a special reveal for us. So welcome, Thomas. Turn that camera on.
I've come today to talk to you about Jehovah. All great things about God. I don't know why you're laughing. God is no laughing matter. We've come to talk. I've been going door to door all day. It's been rough. On? What?
Is that a clip on?
No, it took me 30 minutes to learn how to fucking tie a tie. This book may or may not be porn. I don't know. I've never read it, so definitely porn. It's from my grandmother's bookcase, so this is really just an awkward time for me today. Hi, guys.
Welcome, Thomas. And we actually have special guest with us tonight, the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Miller.
I don't know about
how's everything going?
Legend, but yeah. No, my name's Mike. I appreciate it. I've watched you guys. You guys do good stuff. It's funny. I'm excited to be here.
Well,
thanks for joining us, man.
You didn't bring up our fourth special guest today, Matt.
Who's our fourth special guest?
That is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's who it is. So we're going to go into that later, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry.
If you're gonna really go that way, wouldn't he be with us always and has already been with us? You're just now acknowledging him?
Matt, clearly you don't know the way Mormons work, okay? They believe dinosaurs are aliens and that we're going to be taken away in giant alien spaceships. I would know, obviously.
Okay, all right. Is that what you were out convincing people of this afternoon?
A lot of very old people and very weird people letting me in their homes today, Matt. It was very, very awkward. But
you got to be careful. We don't want you getting kidnapped and ending up in a well or something.
Oh, no, I just, start speaking Spanish and they just...
But you don't speak Spanish.
I know. I tried my best. They don't fucking know. Let's see how long I can hold this book here.
Yeah, I'm really more interested to know what book that is.
I have no idea. It's not porn. Oh, it's a good book. It's a good book from a series that, Matt, I've actually told your wife to read. So I will say it's Morning Star by Pierce Brown. Great, great read if you ever get the chance. Fantasy, sci-fi, the works.
Unfortunately, I got the chance and I am still choosing not to read.
Well, Matt has read a total of maybe 15 books in his entire life. So let's just not go there.
Dr. Seuss too.
I was about to say Green Eggs and Ham does count as one.
I actually read like 6 books tonight just to my son. Granted, they were all Dr. Seuss books, but those count as books.
You're such a good father.
I'm not. His school sent some stupid thing home that says they need to read like 200 books. And he's like, Dad, we got to read these. And he brings out, like, he can barely carry them. He's bringing all these books. And I'm like, fuck.
Guess what we're doing for the next hour. I don't know.
Well, my oldest knows how to read now. So, like, I used to be able to skip over stuff. No more. He's like, Dad, you missed that. And I'm like, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you correcting me while reading.
So Sam got his Green Eggs and Ham. I got it. I understand. Yeah. I hope they're really progressive books, too. Like, My Dads Are My Best Friend, No.
They're traditional red fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish. This one has a little star. This one has a little car.
I've never read those, so I don't know.
Dr. Seuss is good stuff.
Wasn't he way ahead of it? Wasn't he, like, batshit insane?
Maybe.
Any case...
Pretty sure went dark pretty quick, but
yeah, he was pretty fucking
nuts. I think he was talking about you going dark. We're talking about Dr. Seuss, and you want to talk about him being crazy.
I'm pretty sure he was crazy. Anyways, we have Mike. We have a very special opportunity here to talk about some things that we normally don't talk about. We're going to talk about Subarus and cell phones and all things. I have at least 10 Asian-related questions that I need answered. But we'll get into it later.
I'm glad that Matt came up with that list because obviously you didn't know my history. Matt does, but I'm glad those are the key things that stick out that made me the man, the myth, and the legend.
And also the fact that you are also pursuing your own podcast. We want to talk about that. Hiccups. Yeah. How any advice you can give us because, all 3 of our viewers are... And that's the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. But,
just sticking hard with that tonight. Holy smokes.
Hit it.
All right, let's move on to our shots and get this thing. Let's light this candle. So, are you going first tonight, Thomas, or would you like me to?
I would love to go first.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so this shot goes out to Mormon Jesus. Different than your typical regular Jesus. This is the whole reason I did this. This is why I prepared. God, kudos to you, buddy. You've got all the white bitches. I love it. Now, unfortunately, I will not be drinking the rest of the podcast. I do have to go pick up my father from the airport tonight. So I am replacing it with Kool-Aid as any good Mormon would.
Well, my shot at is going to be people that don't fucking shovel their sidewalks and their driveways. I've watched the same car. I decided to walk my kids to school this week, and we get up, and there is literally a foot of snow on this guy's whole sidewalk driveway. I've seen him get stuck in his car 3 times in his own driveway because he refuses to shovel. And he's got kids that he could make go do it and just doesn't. Shovel your fucking driveways and sidewalks.
Absolutely. Fuck those people. Fuck them.
I was going to say, maybe he's not even home, but I guess he is.
I've seen him stuck a couple of times, and I refuse to help him push.
As you should. You should refuse. It's his fucking fault.
Mike, do you have a shot at that you'd like to take at anybody? Anybody pissing you off lately?
I didn't know the script, so like most Asian people are, unprepared. Wasn't a Boy Scout, so I'd like to defer to the next time.
All right, that's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Thomas, yours was a shot for, so do you have a shot against?
You know, it took me a long time, a lot of milling over to come up with my shot against. And I'm totally not stalling because I didn't think of one ahead of time, like at all. But actually, my shot against is gonna be, and it's a thing, right? Airlines, okay? Fuck whoever does all this scheduling bullshit that runs these pilots, these stewardess into the ground. Kind of look like a pilot right now. Runs them into the ground so that it fucking delays your flight, delays your buddy's flight, delays your dad's flight. Everyone gets home late. Everyone's fucking mad. It's not the pilots or the stewardess's fault. It's like a big airport. And fuck them. Absolutely fuck them. And I'm not drinking again, but I'm going to have a sip of Kool-Aid.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, we've all been through that where things like not even just like weather and stuff. It's just they're just packing us in. It's so close to running these guys into the ground. It's not fair. It sucks. Fuck you, big airlines. I don't know what to call them.
All right. Well, Mike, a shot. Anybody you'd like to take a shot for?
4?
4.
I don't know. That's tough. Like I said, I forgot the part of
Yeah, you're good. You're good, man.
I'll have to come better prepared next time. I don't know. Maybe if he opens up to page 42, line 6, whatever that says.
And she caressed her bosom with a fiery passion.
There you go. That's
All right.
we'll use that one.
It's in the Mormon Bible for sure, 100%. That's canon. They call it the MCU for a reason, the Mormon Cinematic Universe. So
The Mormon
I prepared all week with Mormon jokes. I have so many fucking Mormon jokes ready.
I'm gonna take my shot for is to the freedom of religion, so everybody has the right to practice their own religion, even if it is Mormonism.
He's trying to not get us canceled.
Oh no, I don't care about that.
They'll flag it right away.
Yeah.
Report.
Hey, I'm practicing my religious freedom by, I just wasn't trained.
You look like you're going to a wedding.
Kind of. It's my wedding shirt, for sure, And the tie, I did get it dry cleaned on Tuesday, so.
You got it dry cleaned?
Yeah.
I don't
What?
do that.
I don't think Mike, have you ever had any... Do you dry clean clothing?
No, not even my coats. And I'm supposed to. They say right on it, dry clean.
Dry
only,
clean.
but I
Yeah.
just don't wash it.
I follow the fucking rules, apparently. You dry clean your nice shit, so when you wear it, it's nice.
Oh, yeah. I've never done it.
I can tell you how many times in my whole life that I've gone to the dry cleaner to drop something off. It's a big goose egg. 0 times in my life have I taken something to the dry cleaner. I don't see the purpose. And I don't really trust them.
Nice clothes. Listen, if you've never given your
none of my clothes that I have ever worn have not become nice because I washed them.
Well, listen, if you've never gone to a dry cleaners, it's always next to like a gas station or a shitty donut shop. And if you've never gone in there and talked to this little like 4'2" Korean Filipina lady that's like 68, and she's just asking you how your day is, and she's like, "What you want?" And I'm like, "I want this dry clean." Okay, $10, like for all this shit because it's cheap. Dry cleaning is not expensive; it's super cheap.
$10 is not cheap or not expensive.
Not for one shirt. It's for like a suit and like pants and like all the fixins. And it smells good, and it comes wrapped in plastic.
Fixins?
All the fixins. Get them starched. I want to be crunchy. I want to be crunchy as hell.
I don't know what's going on right now.
We're gonna
move on and talk to Mike.
We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this later, young man.
Maybe drinking calms you. Like
it does, because I'm.
So, as we said, our special guest tonight is the one and only Mike Miller. My biggest question is what was it like playing with LeBron?
Yeah, no, it's crazy though as you say that. And when they won in Miami, I think it was in 2013.
Yep.
People would call me because I was in people's phones as Mike Miller, and they thought I was genuine. And I'm like, leave me the fuck alone.
Were they like at the bar bragging to their friends? I know Mike Miller. Let's call him and tell him. Yeah, no, they were at,
like people. Like you could hear people in the back. I mean, they were just out and about, and people thought like that was it. And I don't know. I've kind of became numb to it though. I mean, obviously, when I was born a long time ago, 1984. Obviously, Mike Miller was not a thing, nor was he born in a foreign country, across an ocean. So
yeah, let's crack that egg. Where is the ethnicity?
Perfect segue.
Pertaining to
yeah. No, real quick autobiography, right? If you want to document it.
I will. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much. 1984. I was an orphan.
Happens.
And no, I was just left to be shipped, pretty much. Born in '84. Actually had my gotcha day, if you've ever heard of. Do you know what a gotcha day is?
Yep. Familiar with it, yep.
So my gotcha day was just March 7th. But anyways, I came over, and
how old were you when you came over? For my reference.
Well, if you do the math through, I think Asians are typically good at math. I'm horrible at it. I was born in October, got here in March. 4 months? 5 months?
Nice. Shopping foreign, not domestic. I get it.
Yeah. But anyways, I came over in a pink sweater. So I don't know if that was an identity crisis back in '85. But
you were just ahead of your time.
Yeah. But anyways, I had Post-it notes attached to me, I guess. And I could not talk and you would still write. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. But
do you know what the Post-it note said?
Like my names, my weight, like where I came from, things like that. And my mom still has them. I don't have them.
That's actually really cool that she kept them. I will say.
My daughter was just born a year ago, and I put her in that same onesie that I came over for. My mom kept it.
That's really cool.
So I don't get like attached to shit like that. Like, cool, take your picture and fucking post it somewhere. I really don't care. I'm just glad she's got 2 arms, 2 legs, and full set of hands and fingers. But I came over and I was, little behold, do you know, I was diagnosed with shingles when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I've got scars all over my legs and my back and stuff from it. It's one of those things that you would never know. Matt, I don't think you knew that. You both sat back in the chair.
Isn't shingles like isn't shingles supposed to be like for old people? It's like chickenpox reoccurring?
Typically, yes.
Yes, so I was exposed to it when I was in the orphanage.
Oh. So
and lo and behold, I'm one of those. I don't know my real dad. So so that's kind of that part of it. And so growing up, my parents and I consider my parents because they raised me on McDonald's and Subway.
Hell yeah, they're your parents.
What's that?
Hell yeah, they're your parents.
Yeah. So, anyways, they're white. Since we've established color and race here.
Oh, we don't pull punches. Wait, what country though did they pick you up from? That's the question.
They didn't pick me up. I came from South Korea, so I was born in Seoul.
Oh, we have a lot to talk about.
According to the Post-it note, I was born in Seoul. Shipped over here into Seattle, went down to San Antonio, and then I ended up in Minneapolis. And then there's about 80 of us that came over back in '85. So, but yeah, no, I grew up with a bunch of white people. Super depressing going through that phase and having to deal with all sorts of adversity. But I remember we went on a cruise when I was 13, Carnival Cruise Line, and you go to the captain's dinner, super whatever. You go at 6:00, and we walked up, and my dad's like, "Yeah, we're the Millers." And then, now that's funny because it's a movie.
It's a great
coming out
movie.
with the second one.
I hope so.
Cool.
But anyways, and the guy goes, "All right, table for 4. I have 2 older sisters." And my dad literally grabs me and just like pulls me into the picture, and he's like, 5? And the guy looked at us like, where the fuck did he come from? Like, he didn't understand how that was a thing back in,
the 90s, yeah.
The 90s. And
that makes sense.
So yeah, no, I went through that, but I went to school in a small town in Minnesota, Tyler. Some of you may have heard of it. Class size was about 50 or 60 people. I don't remember. Again, horrible at math. But not living up to stereotype. And I'm also 6 feet tall. Most Asians are 5'3", 5'4", and they talk like this, and they tell you, "I'd like some chicken egg roll," and I don't do that. I'm probably the most Americanized Asian you'll ever meet. I actually don't have many true Asian friends. I got to be careful if this ever does get published. Dude, you keep fucking with your tie. Like, just take your tie off.
I'm not taking it off. I'm fulfilling the bit. It's so hot in here.
Get one of those spray fans.
I haven't even put the book down.
It's good. You're doing a good job. But
it's interesting to hear that. Yes.
So that's what I went through. I mean, like I said, I never really dealt with. I think that's why like the race thing doesn't bother me. A lot of people go through it, and you hear the Mexicans and the black people and all the other things, and I've been called everything under the sun. I joked around in our podcast about being bullied and stuff like that. I mean, people call me a chink. My eyes aren't even that squinty.
They're not. I actually assumed you were half Asian.
See, I don't know.
Judging by how which is possible in South Korea, especially in the 80s, 100% possible.
Well, they think everybody tries to tell me that I'm a military baby. So
I can see it.
But yeah, like I said, I don't know anything. I was blessed with decent genes, I guess. Like I said, I'm 38. I want to go to those places like the fair, and they try to guess your age and your weight, and they would be so far off. Like a lady tried to get me the other day. She's like, "Yeah, my daughter just got done with nursing school." I was like, "That's cool." She's like, "You single?" I'm like, 3 kids, married? No, I'm good. She goes,
super duper not single.
Yeah, she's like, "Well, that's a bummer." I'm like, "Yeah," I'm like, "Just got done with nursing school. Is she a non-trad or is she?" No, she's like 23, and I was like, "Okay, 38."
They don't care. I assume it was an Asian mother, right?
Age is just a number.
For me, I don't know.
No, like the lady you were talking to. I assume she was an Asian mother.
She was white.
Oh.
I mean, literally, she was just like, "I would have never guessed you were 38," and I was like, well, "That's cool." We had our Christmas party at the whatever you call it, the convention center up at the Denny, and I got carded. I asked the lady, and I go, "Really?" I said, "How many 20-year-olds work at a car dealership?" She goes, "Well, you never know." So I was like, "Okay." So I showed her, and she literally was like, "No." And I was like, "Why the fuck would I have a fake that says I'm 38? like, nobody does that."
Come on, you're fucking McLovin.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna believe that you're 40.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. I take it. Everybody always told me, you'd appreciate it later, and I do, I guess, but
you're not going to. So I grew up in Korea, right? And in Korean culture, I'm not even joking this time. It's a thing. I was a military brat. The way that Korean men and women age is graceful as hell, handsome and beautiful, and then the thunder drops at like 55. They lose like 2 feet of height. Like, it's ridiculous.
So
You can't say you grew up in...
I always get this fear. So like, I'm lucky I got like hair, right? But I always joke around. If I had that, have you ever seen that where they have that awkward ring in the front, and then they keep that ring, that thin line right here, like Matt's beard. They keep that thin line, and then it's all bald here. I really want to be like, what the fuck are you doing at that point? Like, do you seriously? Are you blind? Like, do you see this? That you have this, like a ring? Like, why? Why do people do that?
Why not? Homer Simpson really made it popular, you know, the hair on the top.
How many hairs does Homer Simpson have?
4.
2.
That's right.
And the only reason I keep the goatee is because it hides my second chin.
Smart.
Where nobody sees it.
Do you remember Matt with
just
his long
hair.
hair? Because
Just lean forward all the time.
Yeah.
No, just it's the you put your tongue and lay it flat against the roof of your mouth.
For pictures. You can't do that all the time. That'd
Yeah.
be hard.
I can't sit with my tongue against the roof of my mouth during the podcast.
Yeah, you can't talk. It's noticeable. It's just
So, are your sisters adopted as well, or?
No, so the main reason why I exist in that aspect is that it's it's a girl and then me. So rather than risking having 3 girls and torturing my father,
Smart man.
that's how it happened.
that's fucking really smart, actually.
So I'm 38. I just found out 2 years ago
That
how
you're
much they
adopted?
paid for me. No, how much they paid for me.
Oh,
And because I started talking about like business and like things that we're getting into and like ROIs, and I told my dad, I said, "Did you get an ROI on me yet?" Because I joke around, I've been paying for their cell phone bill since my Verizon days, and that's another conversation to be had. But
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, you have." I was like, just out of curiosity, what was the check?
what was the
Yeah. What did
$4,000.
$4,000?
in the 80s though? That was not a small amount of money.
It was a Monte
Wasn't it?
Carlo.
It wasn't a big amount of money,
It
though.
wasn't.
It was a
small.
Monte Carlo.
It was Monte Carlo. Yeah, it's a nice car.
A funny story. That's awesome that you guys said Monte Carlo, because growing up, I always wanted an '84 Monte Carlo.
Growing up,
I didn't know that I had
Oh, I
to
was
choose
gonna say, in
between
84, there's
a
no way you want a Monte
child
Carlo.
or an '84 Monte Carlo. Like, those were your options.
And you've had like no exposure to your culture, right? Like,
0. I tried.
What do you mean you tried?
Well, so I think I was 10 or 11. My dad signed me up for this thing in Marshall, Minnesota, and we went to this church, and we drive by it. It's right on the edge of town. And I look at it, and it was a 3-day event that they wanted you to go there. And the first thing you do when you get there, like, it's not a like, hello, my name is thing. No, they give you a fucking book. And when you're a kid, this book is the size of, like, it's just big and tall. It's huge. And you open it up, there's not a single thing in English. None of it. And I'm sitting here going through my whole life not exposed, horrible word, but anyways, not exposed to any of it. And I look at it and I go, I don't care. It was just stupid to me. And so I don't know, but I'm sure my dad paid for something for it, but I just told him, I said, get me out of it. I don't want to do it. And I just never got into it. Same with the food. People are like, oh, you do like this and like this. Like, I'm not a big sushi fan. I do know how to use chopsticks.
Sushi's
but,
not Korean. It's fine.
Well, I mean,
I was going to say, I saw you at Teriyaki Madness like 6 months ago. So
Daddy, you think that's like saying Taco Bell's Mexican? You can't even go down that road.
well, they have tostadas, right? At least.
No, don't get me fucking started, Matt. Korean food's delicious, though. You should really give it a try. Totally different from Japanese food, though, or Chinese. It's
See, I don't even know where to get it. What?
Yeah, you were in the middle of nowhere where you can't get it, I think. So,
But I find it kind of interesting is like, I wouldn't expect you to like know any of that stuff, or even like, I can't say because I'm not in your shoes, but if I was in your shoes, like, I wouldn't care about any of that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you grew up here, you're here, like, this is you. You're fucking
Yeah.
American. There's nothing else
American.
about it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the same thing is thing I thought about actually before I came on here, I was just like, all right, so this is a situation where, right? I know you, Matt, haven't, we don't talk every day. And there's a lot of people who don't talk every day. But either way, fucking do that damn tie. Anyways, if you would have just got a clip on, it would have made that so much fucking easier. Anyways, Sioux Falls is so small. Like, the whole area is so small. Like, you cannot really piss anybody off in any part of the world or the business of Sioux Falls, as far as that goes. Because I feel like it's too easy to run into people again, or I don't know. I've always lived my life to not try to piss people off, I guess, because you're like, I'm going to walk down Walmart, like, an aisle one time, and somebody's just going to fucking straight fastball a can good at me, and that's it. It's like, sorry, I pissed you off.
Never thought about that as a plan of attack. I like it. I like your enthusiasm.
It's where they least expect it.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to fucking maximum overdrive you and just fucking launch a soda can and take your head out.
Well, dude, people are crazy. I mean, you want to talk about drivers, you want to talk about, there's so many things that people get so mad about nowadays. I don't know, I've kind of like got to that point in my life now at 38, right? Saying our age, Matt. But just getting to that point where it's like, fuck it. I'm getting grays. No, but you just, things like that just doesn't faze you anymore. I don't know. I just try not to get in the way.
Yeah. I'm just here to live my life and have fun doing it.
Oh yeah,
100%. So speaking of vehicles, you are currently working and have been working for a large dealership that is a local brand based out of another country.
Way to go on that rabbit hole. So we'll make it public now.
Okay, I didn't know if that was allowed or not.
No, it is.
I want to put you on blast.
Neither here nor there. I guess I don't really care. So my last day there is actually tomorrow.
No shit. You're leaving the Outback?
Yeah.
What
yeah,
are all those stellar old ladies going to do without you there to fix their cars and change their oil?
Yeah, right. No, I essentially got presented an opportunity to do something else and kind of go back into what I did before I got into cars, actually. Matt, you and I obviously talked about that because you were in cars before too. So you know what that life is like. And having 3 kids definitely changes that outlook of what's important. And I put in my notice and I'll be done, which is good. I'm excited.
What are you going to be doing then?
So I'm getting back into like franchising essentially. So franchising companies. It's my niche, if you want to call it. But cars are fun. They've changed a lot. No, they're not fun. There's a little sarcasm there. I don't know if you could tell by the face. I did like a squint thing, where it's like, I didn't go like this, but I went like this. Like, I can do this, this. Or do you want this? So, I don't know how I can get my sarcasm across, because...
Actually, you actually need to... In Korea, you put your arm against your forearm, and that's the polite handshake. Fun fact. There you go.
So if I come in like this and I want to do the interlocking thumb and bring it in like a bro, that's not gonna happen. The thing about cars and actually we've done a little bit of a bit on how cars are and stuff, and even Matt, when you did it was so different. Now with electric cars, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. It pisses me the fuck off. I always tell people, this is the number one thing you can think about electric cars, and maybe a Mormon would agree with me on this, that if you've ever bought a cell phone and it's froze or it didn't work and you had to restart it, what would you do if that was your car? Just going to stop on the side of the road? No.
Don't Teslas give you cancer?
I'm sure everything does. Probably holding that book next to your heart gives you cancer.
Clearly the camera's inverted. Heart's over here, big guy. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I didn't know it was inverted. You don't have any words.
Isn't your heart in the middle of your chest?
No, it's off to the side.
Technically, it's mostly in the middle of your chest, actually.
Aren't you a fucking nurse? Shouldn't you know this?
What you're feeling here is your aorta and the apex of your heart and the muscle contracture, and that's why you can feel your heartbeat over the left side of your chest. Technically, it's closer to the center line, but it's not mid-clavicular.
Nobody here needs to take medical advice from a fucking CNA, so...
Oh my gosh, here we go again. I am a man of God, and I won't rise to your insults. or whatever. Listen, man,
What?
you guys can talk about cars all day, right? I'm the guy that calls my girlfriend when something's going wrong with my car. Now, in her defense, she works on cars. She likes cars. It's her thing. But like, I can change my oil and stuff. But other than that, I'm like, hey,
Not in your defense. You drive a Jeep, which is the easiest fucking vehicle to fix.
That's why I got it. It's so easy.
You can't fix it though.
It's
Like you can't sit there and say that I got it because it's easy to fix,
I'm gonna
and then
call
not
her
fix it.
because I need to know. Listen, does this liquid go here? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Does it go here? Fuck no. Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks. Thanks, honey. I love you. See you at 8. You know. Like.
Jeeps are expensive.
It was very expensive, I will say, but it's kept its value. So
You got a Wrangler then?
I do. Yeah. It's not a Jeep if it's not a Wrangler. Let's not get into that.
True.
Okay.
You can get a Gladiator. Those are cool. No.
About
Anyways,
two things.
no. Just gotta keep going. No cars. I mean, like I said, they've just changed so much that it's not like it was. Even selling cars. I mean, Matt, it's nothing like when you did it, or even when I sold. So I sold in a previous life, and then going back into that, it changed a little bit. Yeah, no. I always find it interesting though, because how much cars have changed. Cell phones have changed just as much, and that was the other life. So
How much has changed within the car business because of COVID? Like, I know.
oh yeah,
I mean, obviously there was shortages on certain chips, and a lot of that different stuff to where a lot of new cars, it's really put a huge damper on the used market because obviously the new market wasn't there, and so a lot of the used market wasn't appearing because people weren't buying it. What has that looked like? Obviously, it's got to be good as a service writer now, but
Jesus,
um,
3-year-olds, man.
heck yeah.
No. No, I mean, the thing is, so I've been out of sales for a year and a half now. But the biggest thing is, honestly, is that people, when they bought cars in the past, it was like, I want a blue one. No, I want a red one. No, I'll take the white one. And then that's the one I'll take home. And then, now you can't do that. You order it, you get what you want, you pay full boat, sometimes more. The power has gone away, but like, I think it's just, people now are to the point from a customer service standpoint, just like everything else. They just want to be taken care of. I think you really can have any price on a vehicle, and if it's within budget for people, they'll roll with it. Jesus.
I tried.
So it doesn't even happen on ours. He's usually out. But
So, what is the obviously everybody talks about how safe Subarus are.
yeah,
Are they really that safe? Come on.
I would say so. Just because you look at rollovers and the amount of things that go on, even the people in Sioux Falls that have had situations where they would get a rollover, like you would watch it, just even like the crumple zones and seeing some of the differences of it all. I mean, I still, even though I'm not going to work there, I'm still going to keep mine, just for the sole reason that it is good. And obviously with kids that, I mean, could you imagine trying to put a seatbelt on a kid like this that can't even sit still right now? I mean,
I get it.
it literally feels like an exorcism sometimes because he's trying to get out like he's a dinosaur, like breaking out. No, I think they're safe, but truthfully, the biggest thing is like when it snows and when it's shitty out, all-wheel drive system is, I mean, it's pretty unmatched. It's kind of cool to see it, but
That's fair.
how often do you really truly have that issue where you could almost get stuck? We've had obviously a shitty winter, and I mean, maybe once this year where you're like, I don't know if I can get through it. I mean, people had snow drifts up to the top of their garages, and that's just kind of the route they went. But I don't know. Cars are. I'm happy to get out of it. If anybody were to ask, for the sole reason that honestly, it's, I don't know.
Not worth it.
Car.
It's not worth it. Like they don't pay you enough to be there all those hours.
It's, to me, it's not even so much the monetary thing. That was the first thing they asked me. They said, "Was it about money? Is it about time?" I said it was about purpose. And for me, I've always had that niche. Like, even when I was in cell phones, is when I would open stores, I'd see the things that people would go through, and just help build teams and people. But it's, I don't know. It's good money. Obviously, you know that, Matt. Never in my life did I ever think I'd make six figures, but when you get into it, it consumes you. And some people get into it to the point it changes their life and their lifestyle. And I continue to live in right now we're in a townhouse. I had a 1,100 square foot house, and we paid $550 a month, and we never lived outside our means. So, but cars are cars, phones, that's a totally different ball game. I don't know what kind of phone you guys have. Matt, you probably have some shitty Android because those are stupid boring. But
he just called you stupid and boring, you dumb bitch.
I, thank you very much, have the iPhone, I don't know, Pro Max 13 or something.
What? I could have swore a message was green. Am I wrong?
You were definitely wrong.
Maybe not. Either way.
All blue messages there.
I thought I was going to get my jab.
You're going to give me shit, and you...
the only reason I'm giving you shit is because it wasn't aired. You guys started out this podcast saying, like, I've got stuff. And I'm thinking, all right, it's going to come from all angles. I'm going to get this, so I got to take my shot. I don't know him well enough to take that shot, but we'll get there.
Oh, we'll get there.
But no, cell phones, dude. The thing is everybody wanted the smallest, the simplest. Flip phones were a thing. Then they had color displays. When the iPhone came to Verizon, that changed lives. Like, people were like, phew. Like, this thing should have done their taxes, and if it didn't, they were fucking pissed. And then I think one of the most memorable things, and if you're CNA,
no,
what are you?
I'm a.
He's working. He's working towards his CNA.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm a flight medic.
Gotcha. So, biggest thing is though is like people come in and it's like, you're Verizon, but then it's like this 90-year-old guy will ask me, yeah, my Facebook doesn't work on my phone. And it's like, dude, I wanted to walk outside and look at the fucking building and be like, does it say Facebook on the fucking side of the building? It does not. I don't know your fucking password. And that's honestly why I quit, because of shit like that. And people are like, oh, I pair it to my car and it doesn't work. It's because you got to turn the fucking Bluetooth on first for it to work. Like, you have to point out the simplest shit to people, and now it's just always on. Because everybody's like, oh, I got to save battery life. Remember? Like, everybody's like, oh, battery life. Gotta make sure that I can get through the whole day because I don't want to plug that shit in. Well, fast forward, here we are, 2023, electric cars, exact same thing. Like, oh, did you guys see the TikTok of the Ford Lightning with the generator that was running on gas plugged into the front of the truck?
I did see that.
Like, that's fucked. Like, that's when you know why. like, how do you get to that point in your life that's like, I'm going to do this? But no, cell phones they've changed a lot, so.
Was it? No, you're good. Go off. This is great stuff.
This is actually gold.
What was the one thing when you were doing cell phones that was like, was there one point where you're like, you know what? They're making a fuck ton of money of doing this, and I get like if you work in the car world, I always say every dealership puts on their form of like a protection package where they put some fucking clear coat bullshit on. Yeah. And actually a big car dealership around in the area has put this huge one on, and they actually sold it to companies. And that's where they don't even make money on cars anymore. They sell people this plan for like $3,000.
Yep.
And it protects their car when it doesn't fucking do shit. And was there something like that with cell phones where like you went in and you were like when I worked at K Jewelers, they always told us we had to get add-ons and sign people up for fucking credit cards. Yep. Was there something in the cell phone that you were like, I fucking hate doing this shit. I know the only reason I do it is because it makes the company a fuck ton of money. They don't give me anything for it. Fuck them, but I have to do it to keep my job.
I don't know. That's work ethic, really. That's subjective, obviously, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But, I never really felt like fuck it, just because the guy that I work for, I still have to this day the utmost respect for his journey of really what he did. Highly successful. But the thing is like cell phones there was phones, right? It started out with phones, and then it went into watches, and then it went into shit to put on your kids to track them. And then it went on to, they were trying to sell home phones, internet at home. They're pushing that again, I saw. It was tablets. It was all these other things like internet packs. Like you got this fucking hockey puck, and it was supposed to connect you to the internet when you could fucking do it on your phone. Because it exact same thing, but they would still do that. He's gonna repeat something I say. I'm gonna fucking hate it. But
we got our Xbox for our kids over Christmas through Verizon because they had a steal of a deal on an Xbox Series X. It was insane. Like I looked everybody else, and they were by far like $200 cheaper than what you could get it from anybody else.
Yeah.
Through Verizon. Why is Verizon selling an Xbox Series X?
On your bed.
It was so stupid.
On your bed.
But it's like I'm saving $200. Why would I not buy it from you?
Yeah, $200 off an Xbox. That's nice.
But the thing is like even them selling PlayStations and stuff like that, like that's where it's changed because they just literally go into the retail setting of what can I make money on next, you know? Because I mean, you sell a cell phone case. I'm sorry, but I'm not paying $60 for a piece of fucking plastic to put over my fucking $1,000 phone. I get it; it's an expensive phone. You have to protect it. Do you know how much it costs to replace the screen on your phone now?
No
if you
case.
break it?
How much?
$240. Literally, you could buy 3 cell phone cases, or you could just fix your screen if you have a life-changing event. But it's just like, yeah, like that happens. Some people like, doesn't that piss you off? I don't care. Like, I don't know. Everybody's different with it, but cell phones were, at one point, I would say, just phone. And then when they started pushing everything else, like, customers got uncomfortable. Because it's like, this is all I want. That's why online's changed. Obviously, e-commerce has changed everything in the world. Fucking Alibaba, you can buy anything you want. I mean, everything that's behind you guys right now, you could buy online. Don't even have to leave. For all I know, none of you are wearing pants or underwear right now. You could just... So, I mean, it could be a traditional thing for your guys' podcast that I don't know about. And
that was Thomas's surprise ending was getting up.
Everybody stands up. So, but
So, since it's ruined now, yes, my surprise ending was going to be standing up backwards and walking away, and it's just...
Yeah. In case, like, the TV falls off the wall or something, but... No, it's... I mean, between those two things that I've done for, you know, I would say probably the majority of my life, I mean, in a previous life, I worked at Budweiser.
I remember that.
That was not... it was a good thing, but if I was still there, I'd probably be another 150 pounds heavier, but...
Nice.
No, it's I mean, dude, it was bad. Like we drank every day. And yeah, I couldn't do it.
So I do have, this is kind of circling back from the beginning. I've got one important question.
Yeah.
Do you use your name to your advantage though? Like you talked about during the finals, how people hit you up and fucking ruined it. Do you ever call into a place and you're like, yeah, I need to make a reservation. This is Mike Miller. And they're like, and then you walk in and they're like, and you're like, yeah, I have a reservation for Mike Miller. And they're like, fuck you, you're not Mike Miller. We're looking for the NBA dude. And
so
you're like,
that, I ordered pizza one time for my son's birthday, the other one. And I had it under my name. It was 4 of them. That was it. And it was at Domino's on Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And I go there to pick it up. And I was like, yeah, I'm here to pick up 4 pizzas. And they're like, yeah, the name? And I was like, Mike Miller. And the guy literally is like, and I was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, well, you never know. And I'm like, and keep in mind, he's a kid. But I was just like, do you think he would actually come get his own? Like, he's got fucking people that would do it for him. And he ain't going to put it under his name. And so that was like the most recent one. But I've joked around about, you know, if I ever got into a different career that was like focusing on that, was like the name of who you are. You know, to use that, like say, hey, Mike Miller sold your house, or you know, whatever it is. But I've always been identified as the Asian Mike Miller. People that reference if they know Mike Miller, because there's a Mike Miller that I bought a car actually from Subaru. There's a Mike Miller that I actually know that I went to college with. He works at Plains Commerce Bank. There's a
lot of Mike Millers out there.
In Sioux Falls, yeah. Like
It's
when I bought my
very
house,
common names.
they're like, "Hey, what happened on East 4th Street?" I'm like, "I don't even know where the fuck that's at." Like, what do you mean what happened on East 4th? Like, you tell me. And they're like, well, it's on your background. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Like, I've never lived there. Don't even know where it's at. Up there. Like, past 5th Street.
That's a.
I don't know where it's at. But either way.
I do.
Yeah, no.
You don't want to go there. You don't want to know what happened on East 4th Street.
So yeah, I've never really used it, I guess. You know, I went to Let It Fly, obviously Mike Miller's restaurant, right? And I hand over my credit card to the lady, the waitress, and she was probably she was in college. She looks at the card and she's like, wow. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's not, sorry, don't want to say that for the Mormon. But it's that book on fire. The broken pistol. No, but I've never wrapped my head around that, because there's so many more like big name celebrities. Like, you know, I doubt there's another Chad Greenway or, you know, something like that necessarily in Sioux Falls, but I don't know. I've never used it, I guess.
Mixing those two things together, we actually bought a fucking Hellcat from Kirk Heinrich. You know who Kirk Heinrich is? Oh,
you bought his Hellcat.
Yeah, he had gotten it. He must have gotten it when he was working with the Bulls or something, because it was red, but he actually had it like vinyled in like a forest green.
That'd be cool.
So it was like completely. It was a really nice car, but he straight up sold it to us.
Well, I was gonna say Mike Miller had his, like, I think it was like an old Tahoe or something, like his initials embroidered in it. And then somebody had it, and I was just like, "Who the fuck's gonna buy that?"
You're gonna buy
You
that.
already don't have to put your initials in it. They're already there.
Well, it's not-
I got my own custom fucking Tahoe here.
yeah, it's like the '90s though. You start going through the phone book with a bookmarker and just trying to find somebody's name. Like, who could I sell this to? No, it's I don't know. It's cars are just a material thing. I've gotten over that part, but same thing though as far as names and using it for advantage. I'd rather lay low and off the radar personally. But
Well, I just didn't know if you called a restaurant. I mean, he's not like a huge name you're going to recognize, but if you're a basketball fan, like, you know who Mike Miller is, especially in our small area. Mike Miller was he's from Mitchell, South Dakota.
No,
Like, he was a big basketball player. He hit a bunch of shots. Like, he actually won an NBA championship with LeBron in 2013. He was, like, obviously for around here, he was a huge name.
Yeah.
Because how many people from South Dakota play in the NBA, let alone go and win championships with LeBron? I mean, and he followed LeBron to a couple different teams. He played for the Cavs with him. Yeah. So he was a huge deal around here. So the name is very, very recognizable.
he's got his own floor on the Children's Hospital. I think he when that was built back in 2007, I want to say.
Does he really?
Yeah, he's got like the Mike Miller floor is like the second floor. I don't know. It might have changed. Maybe it was real estate that was sold. I don't know. But yeah, he had his own floor, and I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I get so numb to it, and it's even still, people are like, "Oh, your name's Mike Miller," and I'm like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, in my mind, I just like turn it off. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, do you walk up to a guy that's Mexican and his name is Jesus? Do you be like, "Oh, did you know your name's Jesus?" No, you don't fucking do that. Like, it's, I don't know.
I don't know if I saw a Mexican dude, his name was El Chapo, there'd be some lines that would get connected. I'd say something, but
Take your shot. Yeah.
I think I got a cousin named Jesus, actually.
Just like if you walk up to a Mexican and his name's Jose, you'd be like, "Hey, is your cousin Jose B?"
Yeah, yeah, right. That's a horrible dad joke. But
That's such a good dad joke. Such a good one.
No, it's funny you talk about, like, you know, names and stuff like that. So Halloween, right? What was I'm curious now. This is my shot to ask you guys a question back and let you guys talk. Halloween. My birthday's the day before Halloween, so I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what's the best Halloween costume you guys have ever had?
Oh, I was the Pope. My best friend was Jesus, and we had a rabbi. And we did a pub crawl, and we walked into so many bars. Best.
The
Did
Pope
you wear
and
that same
Jesus
shirt?
walking to a bar?
Yep, that's just every time. Come on. It was clever. I liked it.
That's a
I have two top Halloween costumes that I ever went as. In my younger days, I was a bartender And for Halloween one year, I actually dressed as the owner, who was a female. So I wore a wig, had a bra, and served drinks in it all night.
So does Matt know that he's a little gay? Is he aware? That's called drag, Matt. Have you been craving it ever since then?
Yeah, no.
I can get you some high heels.
Surveys and they say, do you identify as a male, female, or
do you hesitate for a second? Is it like a No, it's okay. I've worn a dress before. I get it.
I don't know how women do that shit. Fuck that. No. None of that was comfortable. None of it was fun. It was all miserable. I'm pretty sure my fake boobs came out half an hour into the evening.
Fake?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Was the second one the pumpkin eater?
No, we didn't get to do that one.
Oh, that's true. That was a clever one.
That was a really good one. I wish we could have done that one. We were going to do that this last year.
You should do it next year.
We were going to... This costume that we didn't get to do, I was going to wear orange paint around my mouth, and it was going to say Peter, Peter, and my wife was going to dress as a pumpkin. I saw it on TikTok, and I thought it was fucking funny. But the second best one, I was actually dating a girl at the time who was in cosmetology school, and she put hair extensions in and colored them and then did makeup, and I actually went as the Joker.
Well, I was going to say, everything that you've said so far about Halloween costumes has been an alter ego thing to be a female, hair extensions.
It was the Joker. I've never had long hair, and so she put it in to go as the Heath Ledger Joker, and she even did the stars and shit. That was the last time I ever went all out on a Halloween costume, though, because I got belligerently drunk and had hair extensions and makeup all over, and trying to go to sleep while belligerent drunk with all that stuff on was absolutely miserable. I do not recommend.
That's a tough time.
From then on, I'm going basic t-shirts, maybe a little bit of face paint. Nothing crazy if I'm going out drinking, though.
I mean, if you really want to go for it, you can be a priest. I'll be a rabbi. I would love to see Asian Jesus. That's mainly what I was getting at.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
It's even better. It's Korean Jesus.
It's Korean Jesus.
Yeah. No, you couldn't even pay me. I don't think I could. So being that, so one year I went as a midget. Obviously in 2023 that would offend somebody.
How the fuck did you do that? You're 6 feet tall. Did you put shoes on your knees?
Exactly. Have you ever seen? So do this sometime. It'll offend somebody today. So I took trash cans and I tipped the little ones that you put at your desk. I tipped them upside down and I cut out the top, and then I cut out the heel of my shoe, and the heel of your foot was right where my kneecap was. And then I wore a shirt and I tucked in my arm, so it was like this. And I'd walk around with these trash cans that looked like my shoes were at my knees, and I was tucked in. I had a big fat head, and I'm walking around, and I was a midget. And dude, if you did that today,
I'll do it.
You'd get scolded so bad. But in 2006, dude, I had the whole place dying. People were like, "Holy shit! That's a great costume." Literally took an old pair of Velcro shoes, glued them to a trash can, walked around. It was perfect.
That's awesome.
I know what my kids are going as for Halloween this year.
Oh, dude, it's great. It was one of the best ones. And so I've joked around. I said I would go as Kim Jong-un. So I'd grow my hair out. My hair's getting pretty long. Kind of hard to see, but that would be the next one. Really throw people off. And then if I was a little heavier, I would go as the guy from Up.
Russell?
Get the sash.
You can still do it. You're Asian enough to do it. It's fine.
Yeah, the thing is, like I said, it's so fucked up how people get offended. Because the midget one, I think that one's fucking gold.
Who cares?
I would do it again.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Who can offend them? The people that you're offending, you really don't want to be friends with anyway.
True. But the last thing I do is I want to listen to you and be like, "Oh, that's fucking rude." I don't give a fuck about your feelings if you think it's rude.
Yeah.
It's maybe if I turn around, not to get into too much dialogue of it all, but it's
get into it. Go ahead.
Almost like you're only allowed there if you're. You remember you couldn't go places if you weren't vaccinated, and that was a thing, right? And it's Jesus, it's like, why are we, Jesus, why are we?
I was waiting for the mention. Thank you. I've kept the
no,
book
why
up
are we-
for
why are we
fucking
having to worry about
54
this?
minutes. I have not dropped the book.
I'm trying, but the thing is I know it is so warm where you're at right now because you keep messing with your earpiece because it's probably sweating and sticking to the side of your face.
Gross. I shouldn't have worn a shirt underneath.
He's in San Antonio, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
But,
funny warm there.
yeah, I know. So
Well, let's we're getting pretty close to time.
okay,
Um
I feel like I talk too much.
oh, you did fantastic.
No, that's exactly what we wanted. Yeah.
You've told some great stories. You've given us some solid information.
Solid information for what? Future Halloween
well,
costumes
first
are all
of all-
out of the park.
Halloween costumes, I'm set. Like, I might go as a midget next year.
But if you do it, actually, you know what you could do? Trash cans make it so you can walk around. If you do it on a box and then you set your kid next to you, it's literally a mini you standing on the box with you. Your head's just probably a little bigger.
It's not a bad idea.
But
We got some good information. I've learned some stuff about, the cell phone business. And the big thing for us is being able to joke around and ask you questions that really pertain to who you are as a person. I feel like we accomplished that today. I like it.
Yeah,
I know it's fun. Like I said, Matt, obviously,
I learned what a Korean baby cost in 1984.
Yeah.
dude,
Like, I had no idea of that. That's
so
solid
good.
knowledge to have.
Dude, my sisters. So when I was growing up, long story short, I know you're getting close to time, but
You're good.
my sisters always joked around. They'd sell me on eBay. They knew. They knew. I didn't know.
They knew how much you were.
And I was
Wait,
just like,
when-
so eBay in the '90s.
Did you
know,
have
it's
a
like
moment growing up where you realized you were adopted? Was there a moment where you were like,
No, I never really. I guess I never really questioned it. I don't know. Maybe my parents did a good job, just reminding me like continue to do things that you want, and they never like. I tried wrestling. I tried, all the sports, all the music stuff, and
Just found that
they
you were
never held
really
me
good
back
at
and
math.
stuff. So what's that?
Just found you were really good at math, and that's what you stuck with.
Dude, I'm horrible at math. I actually failed college algebra.
damn?
I did too.
Didn't show
So I
up,
was
but-
super high when I took the fucking final.
In his presence.
I answered like 3 questions, and I went and turned my test in and left.
But yeah, no, it's funny though. I'm literally the most. This is probably the phrase you could use. I'm the most un-Asian Asian you'll ever meet.
Oh, you're just a banana, dude. It happens.
A banana?
Why yellow on the outside, white on the inside? I'm a coconut.
Whoa!
I'm a coconut. Brown on the outside, white on the inside, bro. I get it.
All right, okay.
You've never heard banana before?
No,
No.
I've never heard that
Never.
before.
I've heard that 1,000 times.
Well, I don't know anything about it. That's funny though. I'll have to remember that. Like I said, I've been called a lot of things. I've never been called banana. That's a good one.
It's not even super insulting either. You know what I
No,
mean?
it's not. Oh, dude, like I said, I've heard some. I've been told some nasty shit.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
when you guys were like, "Yeah, no, I know some stuff," or I want to, I want to say stuff, I was like, "Yeah, you could really try." I mean, it really takes a lot. People, even at work, like people will say stuff, and they're like, "Holy cow! Like, why would you let them say that?" I'm just like, I don't know. Like, it's anything. It's what you make of it. So, like, why would you get pissed because somebody calls you a name? I mean,
Yeah. You don't mean shit to me, so why the fuck would I care what you say?
Exactly.
I'm curious to watch the next episode though, as you segue into whatever you're gonna do next. But I appreciate being here. As
Oh, no, you're still with us.
I like it, but I am curious to see what he will dress up as next time.
Yeah,
Oh, this is going to be a bit now. Fuck.
Yeah, you
Um,
fucking started it. So
It's like a late night talk show where you do something and then it's like you're gonna come on with some sort of costume. I swear to God, you should do a Teletubby or something really cheesy next time.
I've got
I
some
just get like
ideas. We're gonna give a little bit of a hint.
So typically, we at this point we used to always go
dildo. What is that?
and
Yes.
yeah, that's Thomas's.
I like it for it to tickle the back of my throat.
We'd always ask questions. Thomas would ask me questions because I'm your age. Thomas
Old.
is much younger, so he would ask questions on how to, deal with his relationship issues, and I would ask him questions like, "What does Riz mean?"
Had to explain what Riz was. Yep.
We've learned now that we've kind of gotten out of those questions, so we've started playing Would You Rather. And so we're going to ask, for these Would You Rathers, I looked up ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT, what are some good Would You Rather questions? So we're using technology to our advantage here on the Sammies and Beer podcast. And it gave me 10, but I'm going to pick just one or two, and then we're going to call it an evening. So the first one I actually think is really good because it's a tough question. Would you rather live in a world with no music or with no television?
No television.
No TV.
Yep. Easy.
Really?
Yeah, what are you going to run to? What's the television show going to start to?
The only caveat to this is, and the only reason why Matt's sitting back in his chair now, like really, because Matt probably still has a belief that MTV plays music videos, so he could watch that shit, and that doesn't happen anymore.
There would be no music whatsoever. Like there would be no songs, no nothing.
So you're just sitting there watching Full House every fucking night, or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
I would have to go TV. Like I don't listen to music enough. Like I like music. I love music, but I would have to go with TV.
Imagine a show starting and imagine
that's
not
kind
having
of the
the
weird
core
things
memory.
that I thought of.
It's like I Am Legend. Just watch that.
Yeah, imagine
No
having
music.
not having the core memory of like George Lopez's theme song at 3 a.m.
I don't know George Lopez's theme song.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Like I could sing the Full House theme song now that it's been brought up,
No, you
but
don't.
I don't.
You're gonna get copyright infringement if you try to sing it. Probably, it's so good.
Yeah,
No, you can sing it. You can legally sing anything without copyright.
For I think 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
No, you can sing anything on
sing
your
it,
own.
yes.
It's
But
playing
I'm
the
saying
song.
your singing would be so close and accurate to the
Oh, yeah,
original
that's
that you would
obvious.
probably get flagged.
That I might get flagged, but it wouldn't be copyright.
No, life without music is boring, dreary, and
Yeah. I need Eminem to tell me that fuck the police.
You're the real
and shit like
Schlady.
that. I like him.
Eminem didn't tell you to fuck the police. That was NWO.
yeah, NWA, and that was my mom's favorite band growing up.
NWA the
yeah.
band.
NWO was Hulk Hogan in wrestling.
That was wrestling. And that was the Wolfpack.
That is such a
Not
Midwestern
mine.
thing.
I'm so
Never seen wrestling. Never.
Oh. Would you rather have a photographic memory or the ability to forget anything you want?
Oh, photographic memory.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I just forget all my mistakes and then make them again. Like,
Or ask for forgiveness.
Or like if you walked in on your parents doing it and you could fucking forget that and never have to remember it again.
never had that issue, so.
Or ex-girlfriends that maybe stabbed you.
And then
or-
I would make the same mistake and be with another crazy bitch. Like,
You're not gonna not
Yeah.
make that mistake because you remember it.
Are you the other way, Matt? Like
What?
you would rather forget it?
No, I definitely have a photographic memory. I'm just trying to fucking play devil's
Men in
advocate.
Black was cool.
You're
just
asking-
flash the pen and
Yeah.
poof, it's gone. No.
no. Okay, my
Would you
arm's getting
rather?
tired.
Last one. I thought this was a good one. Would you rather never have to sleep again or never have to eat again?
Oh my god, those are my two favorite things. Why would you take one away from me?
You can't do that. That's physically impossible.
Yeah, it's
Well,
magic.
obviously, it's physically impossible.
No,
But
fuck
you
that.
could choose not to do one. You could either never have to eat again or never have to sleep again.
It's a lose-lose.
What-
You're gonna die.
Can I still eat if I want to?
No.
I don't know. I'd probably rather. Sleep's nice, but I get bored then. I'd have to eat because I can still do other shit.
Yeah, I guess I could play video games all night. I gotta eat.
So eat is what you guys would both go with?
Yeah, and I love sleeping. Fuck.
So do
love
I.
sleeping.
But also, kids change that.
That's fair. I don't have any of those, to my knowledge.
I don't know. I'd probably have to go with eating. Like, you could do so much cool shit if you never had to eat.
Like what? Walk through
What
the
did you
desert
just
and not die? Like,
Yeah.
then you still have to fucking walk through the desert and you have to sleep.
Yeah. I can sleep on a full fucking stomach because it doesn't go empty ever.
So Mike, you wanna start a podcast?
No, the fact that you guys have disagreements is good. I mean, that's the one thing about ours. I thoroughly enjoy it. If you were to actually talk to him, he's goofy as fuck. I'll even clip that part for it. He's just a weird dude. He's got this weird thing. You can watch some of the stuff. He's got excess skin on his elbow that drops down. It literally looks like a scrotum. It's fucking disgusting.
Awesome.
No, it's a lot of fun. And seeing you guys, I mean, just let you guys wrap this up. Seeing you guys and do it, it's obviously very similar, in terms of just two dudes hanging out, chatting, talking. We're actually getting to the point, too, where we bring in, random people on the guest. Lo and behold, I actually have a 100-episode challenge to bring in the mayor. So I will publicly say that I've made my shot. It's not like he's, I'm not trying to go after Beyonce, but it's a profile guy. And I told everybody, he's like, can't talk about like potholes and shit like that. Like, you got to talk about like exercise and shit that he enjoys doing.
No, you got to talk about ecstasy, hookers, and fucking. There's so many things you got to talk to the mayor about.
But,
There's not going to be exercise.
So how close to having legal ecstasy are we?
How many pages in does this have to be before you sign this? No. But no, it's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed doing it. I've enjoyed seeing other people do it. I've listened to other people now. As we get older, you'll find out, Thomas, when you get older, you'll have more time to indulge in hobbies. And rather than collecting rocks, like most millennials do, Thomas, probably.
I only collect ducks, actually.
I won't. All right, we gotta wrap this up, dude. What the fuck?
I 3D printed him that duck. I got into 3D
It
printing.
was my birthday present.
A duck?
Okay, so it's a Jeep thing.
Okay,
Duck.
well, it looks like
And it's
one of
got
those
a Harry
Easter
Potter.
bunnies that you get.
It's
that's
got a Harry
marshmallow.
Potter hat on. So it's got
Anyway.
the sorting Harry Potter hat. Anyway, we are going to wrap it up. Mike, tell us, just so I know, when is your podcast? Where can people find you at when they want to come get more amazing content from you?
People like us, yeah. No, obviously didn't want to impede or do anything as far as like
no,
plug.
let people know.
No, we came up with the name the Lunchbox Podcast. Fucking
Shit, I broke character.
the Lunchbox Podcast. The biggest reason why is we wanted to consider it your break time entertainment. We do everything we can to try to keep everything within a half hour because that's what most lunch breaks are in corporate America. But the idea is to literally provide just that banter, kind of like what you guys do, and do that. But we air live on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights.
Ooh,
At 9 o'clock. So same time. Then we publish to Apple Podcasts, the Lunchbox Podcast on Apple as well. If you guys ever wanted to get into it, it's really easy. And it's kind of fun because I've actually found, so looking at, the data, right, the math side of things, we've actually gotten more traction on Apple Podcast than we have YouTube or anything.
Really?
Even Twitch. We actually stopped doing Twitch. We just do Facebook. And then we do YouTube, but we don't do YouTube live. So I take a recorded version of it because the audio's a little cleaner, and then I can upload to 1080, and so it's clearer. And then audio's just a little crisper, whereas you're not pushing 720. But that's the techie side. That's the Asian nerd side, right? Computers.
So you threw a bunch of math at us there and some fucking fancy shit.
We pressed 3 buttons and here we are.
Yeah. Play,
So-
take a shot, dress up like whatever you want to be that day.
He's a Mormon. He's a goddamn good-looking Mormon too.
The best part about this is he's gonna have to call his dry cleaner and have it redone because he's been pitting out the whole time.
Oh, I've sweat the shit out of this, and I'm gonna have to. I was just taking the tags off too, and I'm gonna have to redo it.
All right, so this has been a fantastic Thursday with our special guest Mike Miller. Mike,
Thank you.
any final words?
No, God, you can't do that to me. I don't do the improv that way. You guys have all that. You guys are the creators.
All right, so catch Mike on the Lunchbox Podcast on Apple, and they do it live every Sunday and Wednesday. Thomas, final words to preach your gospel to the people before you go.
May the Lord be with you, and drink tequila.
If anybody didn't understand that, may the Lord be with you and drink tequila. So, thank you all for joining us. It has been a wonderful Thursday evening. Stay blessed. Toodles.